Your hot and techy Brezza, the city-bred SUV.
Where do you go if you're a bowler? Where do you hide against Hyderabad, who are just breaking records of their own for fun? We have just witnessed the highest score in T20 franchise cricket, the highest score in the IPL, that the Sunrisers set against the Mumbai Indians at the start of the tournament, and they're not getting any slower. 287 is where they finish after Faf du Plessis and the Royal Challengers put them in. And Travis Head has registered the fastest 100 for Hyderabad. The team has registered their highest ever total. That is just weeks after they managed 277 for 3 against Mumbai. That poor record that Bengaluru at least enjoyed is just dropped to 4th spot this year with 3 scores in excess of 270 in IPL 2024. Travis Head, well done. That is a signing and a half at the auction. Didn't start the tournament. He is certainly going to finish it, you think, with the fastest ever 100 for the Sunrisers and the 4th fastest in the history of the tournament. Chris Gale's record at the same ground more than a decade ago. Yusuf Pathan for Rajasthan Royals. David Miller for then the Kings 11 Punjab. And now Travis Head sees himself there against the club that he debuted for in the IPL a generation ago. This is only half-time on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. How happy I am that Ian Bishop joined us on such a day where fast bowling can be celebrated. Mitchell McClenaghan as well. And Wasim Jaffer, who played in a very different time of T20 cricket, but who's very well averse to this happening. Extraordinary. Let me get your first reactions. Mitch, go on.
Well, I must say, Abhishek Sharma, he just batted a little bit slow today. 34 off 22, striking at 155. I felt like he didn't get out of first gear.
Very good. I take your point entirely, tongue-in-cheek. Wasim?
Well,
Incredible.
I mean, I do feel sorry for RCB. It's literally a humiliation, to be honest. It's a good pitch to bat. They're trying their best to get 2 overseas fast bowler in. We talked about it, but nothing's kind of working for them. The kind of lines they bowl. I mean, I'm surprised that even they're planning at how they can stop runs. They're bowling into the arc or the batsman, if I can say so. But I do feel really sad. It's going to be a long, hard 7 games from here on.
Pick up from there, Bish, especially with the plans that you put in place. It's not an easy place, we know that. But can you make life at least somewhat easier for yourself when a team is batting like that?
Raunak, I don't disagree with any of the narratives, even the tongue-in-cheek one. There are a lot of narratives you can pull, right? So Travis Head has the ability to hit good balls for boundaries. That's one compliment that you have to pay for him.
Of course.
But as I've always said, I go hold my hand up and say, when I hear people say you always have to keep the stumps in play, I look at them and I think, really, always? Is that what you... There's a time there, how many of the sixes I want to see a wagon wheel have been hit between wide, long off the paces and, let's say, backward point? Most of them, if not 99% of them, have come down the ground and around to fine leg. And at times where they bowl wide to Klassen, they finally got him out there.
Yeah.
They could have had one off a no ball as well. So I think there are some times I don't think we utilize that wide line often enough. It's not the only plan, but sometimes... I think I heard Aaron Finn say it in over number 14. Close off one side of the ground, slow it down for a little bit, and then revert. Didn't happen.
You bowled at that ground.
Yeah.
So you know a thing or two of what happens when a batting powerhouse is on this onslaught. You have to do something to just arrest the momentum of the batting side.
Yeah, you do. And when we say close down one side, quite often you've got to close down the leg side because that's where most people's power is. And that's where it was today with the batters who were going. So... Not at one point, it looked like when they wanted to try and close it down, they went straighter. They tried to bowl heel Yorkers instead of actually going wider, trying to hit the toe of the bat. Yorkers having 3 guys out on the offside. Not once did we see square leg up, which is quite a normal field now if you want to shut it down. Sometimes you're right. You have to be defensive to be attacking and to get yourself back into the game. You've only got to do what, say Chennai did last night. Have 2 overs in the middle that go for 3 or 4. In this game, if they had 2 overs that went for 6, that would have significantly swung the momentum. So, they just looked a little bit lost out there tactically.
Yeah, I mean, the cheapest over we had outside the power play was a 9-run over. Everything else was double digits. and there was just no stopping the hitting. Let's admire the hitting. It was made to look easy, but there is something that the Sunrisers are doing right here. Is it just simply the form of Travis Head and Heinrich Klaasen?
Yeah, I think that everybody is playing well. Abhishek is in a good form. Travis Head, when he bowled to his strength, obviously, like Bish said, he can hit good balls. So, few of them were good balls, but he still managed to hit them into the stand. So, the form of the batters, it was a good pitch as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it looked really good pitch. So, 200, 220 would have been a good score, but they just went past it, like nothing.
Did anyone hear these things when they picked him up at the auction? Travis said that, oh, he's not really IPL proven, or he may not be as effective in the IPL as he is, say, for Australia and 50 over cricket.
I hope those people lost their jobs because you've just got to look at what he's done in the last 24 months to know that he was going to perform, and particularly on these grounds, particularly with the position that he ended up. Remember when he started with RCB, he came in at 6. Like 5 or 6, he was in a different role where the game was different all the time, and he wasn't opening. And we know opening is the best position to bat, and we've seen his form consistently at the top of the order over the last couple of years internationally. He was always going to perform.
RCB, though, you'd argue we've been calling for them to play 2 overseas fast bowlers, so technically this is their best bowling attack, and yet we brought up the point pre-show that they will have to get 4 overs out of Will Jacks and Lomror, and there's nowhere else you can go to for bowlers. I remember a game at the Chinnaswamy last year where MS Dhoni brought in Moeen Ali for 1 or 2 overs, got Faf, and that was it. You have an option of somebody coming in. You don't have that option. It almost seems like when they try and solve one issue, you try and put your hand on one thing and suddenly another hole opens up. Does that make any sense? Because they look light on bowling resources when they've technically picked what we believe is the right balance of overseas players.
Well, I mean, if you look at the bowling economy, Will Jacks is probably the economical bowler.
Most economical bowler today.
So, I mean, they used him at the best time because that was the only time he could have bowled. He bowled 2 overs in the power play, and I think he bowled the 7th over. But I don't think, any other different thing would have happened had they played the 5th bowler. I don't know. That was probably the right combination, but they just, got up against probably a better team and obviously informed team.
Yeah, the question to ask there is, were they bowling Will Jacks the first over because they needed to get him through? Which I think the answer to that is probably yes.
Yep.
And then you've got to say, well, was that the best option to get Travis Head out early?
Yep.
And so I think they've gone with the option to get a 5th bowler through instead of looking at what is my best option to get Travis Head out. And I think with all these batters at the top, they're all so good, particularly Travis Head, the form that he's in. Your first target should be bowling the matchup that is going to get him out. And I'd imagine next time when Mumbai play SRH, that Bumrah will bowl the first over to try and get him out. And today I thought that was Lockie Ferguson with the new ball. And by Jacks bowling that first over, yes, it didn't go for many, but it allowed him to get in.
Got in. We have seen Travis Head being dismissed to spin, but quality spin. Noor Ahmed's got him, and I think Theekshana's, they've tried to bowl a frontline spinner to him, and that is again something, Bish, that this team does not have, a frontline spinner.
Yeah, I think the best teams generally have someone that could do that work for you from a slow bowling option. So it's definitely something they'll have to reflect on, even if they're playing a lot of cricket at the Chinnaswamy as their home ground. A good spinner is a good spinner regardless. Charles has told us that year after year.
Yeah. Can I take some comments through from our live YouTube viewership? Good total for the Sunrisers. They should defend today. Well, that's understating it. From Death Rider 54. JM says if RCB lose by 100, you should give them the points. Oh, that's a shame. What else do we have? One more comment that says Kohli had the look of a man near the end of that innings thinking, they're just going to blame me after this. I could see a look of resignation. I mean, he's almost wearing that orange cap reluctantly, because you could just see him, all he's done with that is just look at the ball sail into the boundary, and you almost empathize to a slight degree. Man's got to come out now and try and chase the highest ever T20 score. Nothing you can do really, can you? So,
It's an opportunity.
There we go.
It's an opportunity, you know, to go and get your highest score and chase it down. Look, they can do it. Like it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Say that
They
again.
can.
Slowly.
It's always a possibility.
It's not impossible, but it's
not-
improbable.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the funny things from watching that game is I think we were both sitting in the room and looking at each other, and both kind of had this look on our face, and so we just thinking about, is Travis Head going to be the first person to score 200?
Mitch brought it up.
Yeah. Vish goes, yeah.
But one of the things I think we can't overlook, though, is also the brand that they're playing, right? The brand that Sunrisers are playing. Travis Head fits that freedom style batting, and to bring Klaasen up to his entry point tonight, I thought was fantastic. I have been a big advocate of him getting more overs, whether it's entry point or position in the innings. And I'm glad it happened tonight. He's too good a player.
Yep.
And Markram isn't in his best form either. So I'm not saying it's going to work all the time, but I thought it was a really good move from Sunrisers.
No, I think that's a good point, because you never know. After a blazing start, we have seen teams just sort of lose their way, or batters try too hard, and then you get 220 on a day. You could have got 240, and today, I mean, you've just got 280. So well done to them. It's perhaps a nice time to just remind those who may not have followed the IPL a few years back that both Andre Klaasen and Travis Head once played for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Now, people don't like those as comparisons, because a player will mature only at a certain age, and you know, many times you let a player go. There are many of these fine stories, but
I
it's
did
amazing.
not remember that.
Yeah, Klaasen was
I did not
picked up by
remember
RCB.
Klaasen struggled, didn't he?
He did. He
Both
was at
Travis
Rajasthan
and-
as
yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
you know, not much happened there, but it's about picking the player at the right time, and Sunrisers certainly have done it. Well, they're responding like for like. Abhishek Sharma will open the bowling here, which is interesting. Quick react prediction: Markande as their impact sub, or would you like to see Umran Malik?
I would say Markande.
Yeah.
I think we'll get the answer to that straight away. Travis Head has been subbed. What a good life that is, eh, Mitch? Travis Head, he'd love it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's not terrible. Yeah.
Markande.
Rest up. Yeah, maybe that's why it's been so impactful.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, let's get a prediction. Bish, let's start with you.
Score for RCB, 196.
196.
I was off by 85 in the first innings.
Okay, well done. 196 for Ian Bishop. Mitch?
219.
Okay.
Will Jack's 100.
Will Jack's 100. Is he in your impact zone?
He is.
All right, I thought so. Yeah. And Wasim?
I would say 202.
Okay. Anyone going for any kind of outrageous picks? Bish is 100. He gets
was
some points
awesome.
for that. You went
Almost.
for
I went 350s in the innings.
350s in the innings. We were close. Wasim, what did you say?
I said
Maiden
a
over.
maiden over.
It's still possible.
Yeah,
Still possible.
this inning,
Yeah,
probably.
you just missed your mark. Anyone going
What
for
a
an
day.
outrageous
Yeah,
pick?
I'll go Will Jacks is going to score 100.
Okay, Jack's 100 from Mitch. Wasim?
I think one of the batters will get 50 before the power play.
Okay. Bish?
4-wicket haul for someone.
4-wicket haul. Oh, I'd like a 4-wicket haul today. That'd be nice to end on that note for a bowler. Thank you very much. Mr. McClenaghan, Bishop and Jaffer, we pick up the chat at the end of the game. It's all Sunrisers for the moment. If they get even reasonably close, it should make for a heck of a watch. So join us for post-match analysis on Maruti Suzuki Arena Presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Do download the mobile app if you haven't already. There'll be a lot of stats that you wouldn't mind having a look at with the records that are tumbling with the Sunrisers batting performances. See you at the end of the game.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.